Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for another Bulgarian workout, and I'm wearing a singlet today. I thought I'm going to start wearing a singlet more when I do these because, pretty much if you wear a singlet when you train and you lift, it pretty much tells everybody that you're either in the IPF or you're Eric Littlebridge. Of course, I'm neither, so, maybe we'll start a new trend. So yeah, I actually ordered a couple of new singlets just to rotate through them, even though this is my favorite competition singlet. This is the one I wore in my last powerlifting meets over in the UK. I still have it. But, there we go. We'll train in a singlet. Then people can quit saying silly things like, oh, you wear baggy shorts and you're hiding, whatever. It's like, guys, oh my God. There you guys can see my fat ass. I hope everybody's happy now. All right. Oh, just having a little bit of fun there. What the hell? Also, I find it's more comfortable for my squatting as far as all that knurling. I've got a super aggressive bar as far as the knurling on it goes. And that center knurling, I have to say, when I have a singlet and a t-shirt on, it just doesn't dig into my traps as bad. Like my skin doesn't get quite as beat up by it. So, not bad. And it's going to get worse as I get stronger. I mean, it's bad enough now, right? What's going to happen when I have another 80, 90 pounds on the bar? I'm building that callus back up, though. I can tell you that much, though. I've got a nice callus from squatting again. My lifts went okay today. Everything went fine. Everything went fine, other than my bicep. My bicep now hurts when I squat, and it was better today. It's getting better when I squat, but like today after I did chins, it's excruciating. And people say, oh, no, you're going to re-tear it. No, it's not the connective tissue. It's the whole down bicep. I'm debating at this point if I need to drop chins back out for a little while and just row and then maybe do a few of those cheek curls a couple times a week, if that's what I need to do. Because the chin up, it's a great accessory. I mean, God, the chin up is such a great exercise. The weighted chin up, I'm such a big fan of it. I feel like it brings so much to the table. I don't care whether you're an athlete, whether you're chasing aesthetics. It's just such a solid ass exercise. I hate to have to drop it out because I wanted to get really strong at it, and I've got decently strong. But here's my squat. Here we go. Barely got depth, but it was depth. I screenshotted it just to check. We're good. Happy with it. I mean, it felt heavy, guys. I mean, I'm up to everything's RPE 9+ at this point. Now that I'm at this point in my progression, and I'm squatting 6 days a week heavy, it's all heavy at this point. It's all heavy. And, it's not going to feel any lighter. It is what it is. But at least I'm recovering. Did notice my mid-back was a little cramping today after deadlifting. So I'm having to get used to these deficit deadlifts every day. And I'm going to have to just pay close attention to them with the recovery. Take whatever extra rest I'm going to need and make it happen. But I feel confident at this point with my grip training and the hook grip that as I slowly bring my deadlift back up, that my grip is going to hold up. And again, that bicep's been nagging me. Sorry, not lagging, nagging me. It reminds me of why I went back to the hook grip. I think it's going to be safer in the long term. If I really want to build an impressive deadlift again, I think the hook grip is just going to be necessary. And yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. Sure, my thumbs are getting a little bit blistery here and there. But, it's going to be worth it if I can avoid another bicep injury. I mean, just the excruciating pain I'm going through sometimes now in my bicep. It's like, it reminds me, I mean, I've got all that scar tissue in there. It reminds me that we've got to be careful with this stuff, guys. We've got to be careful with this stuff when you're lifting heavy weight. You got to know what you're doing, and you got to pay attention to things. So, I'm glad I'm doing the hook grip again. Or not again, but for the first time, really. And I feel like it's going to carry over when I want to start really messing with Olympic lifts more down the road. Which will be another project to really get into the Olympic lifts. I really got to build my base back up here, guys. So I'm not squatting 550. Pulling over 600. We don't even need to be worrying about stuff like that. But I think there'll be a fun side thing for me to do. Mess with some Olympic lifting, get a little more explosive, be a little more athletic. Especially once I get leaner, continue to lose weight, get a little more athletic. I think it'd be fun. But bench weight good today. I was happy with the close grip, even though I bumped back up past 315. I put the little micro plates on. This pause close grip was pretty quick today. It wasn't bad. I was happy with it, Nice pause, controlled, clean lockout. Like, that's the best one I've had in days. It was pretty. I'm happy with that, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. the deadlift went pretty good too. And obviously at this point, guys, the 425 doesn't feel heavy. I just exploded up. But the point is, this is at this point about managing the fatigue, getting used to the frequency of deadlifting, trying to do it with Bulgarian style training, and getting used to that hook grip. I'm not going to do big jumps. It's going to be a slow progress. Let's be honest here. I'm not even going to have a respectable weight on the bar for another 12, 13 weeks. Right? And that's going to be deadlifting 6 days a week. It's going to be deadlifting 6 days a week. So, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, even when I get to my 425, it just explodes up. And it should, guys. Even though it's a deficit, and even though it's the hook grip and all that, you guys have seen me do 425 for a 12 rep set on camera before, back when I was deadlifting all the time. You know, this is not a heavy weight. So, but the point is, though, the frequency, the deficits, and I'm not even going to pull the deficit out for a long time. Why should I? There's no point. It's going to make me better in the long term. It's going to really clean up my technique. As you guys notice, I'm using a slightly different technique. Now that I'm with hook grip, I am using a different head position and stuff. Definitely changing my deadlift mechanics. And I'm changing my footing. I'm doing a lot of changes that I feel like I'm going to need to make for the long term to get really, really good at the deadlift again. This hook grip was just one. I'm doing some different stuff with my footing. I'm going to have to really play with leverages. I really need to get my leverages as efficient as possible, because I want to get to eventually to a point where I'm deadlifting 600 every day. It's like a daily minimum. I mean, that's the sort of goals I'm setting. So, you know, changing my deadlift mechanics. You guys have noticed my toes are out more. Narrower stance. The head is up instead of down like Big KK does. Again, we're making some changes to go with this hook grip. I've got to evolve my deadlift. I have to get better. If I want to build a respectable deadlift here in my 40s without getting hurt, just got to change. I've got to adapt. And I've got to be willing to change my technique on this, just like I've done on this press. You know, it is what it is. Today's press was better. Like, it was grindier the last couple days. Today, not so much. I didn't think it was really that grindy. It was fine. You know, these lifts are all good today. I mean, I can't complain about my lifts. I mean, everything is heavy right now. But none of it's grindy. None of it's really grindy today. So I'm going to call this a good session, right? I mean, a little slow under the top, locked it out, held it. You know, nothing's really grindy today. Everything's kind of snappy, kind of quick. I'll take it. I'll take it. Maybe it's some confidence in throwing my powerlifting singlet on. The chin-up, so guys, I'm hurting right now. I even ran the massager, deep tissue massager. I've got an electric one all through my bicep after doing this last one, and my whole bicep throbs. I might need to go back to pendlay rows. I might have to do it because they don't hurt at all ever. I get a pump in my biceps, but I don't ever get that pain. Like I said, I might have to do that with some curls. And you know what? The deadlift will probably carry over better to the pendlay rows will carry over better to the deadlift. Sorry, getting tongue-tied there. So that'll probably help me more in the long term. Those rows with the squatting will really help bring that deadlift up, so that I'll build a respectable deadlift. I feel like the chin-up is better for my overhead press and my bench. But you know what? They are what they are. Those are the least two important lifts out of the ones I'm doing. The squat and the deadlift are bigger priorities. So, you know, it is what it is. I'll decide tomorrow what I'm going to do with that, but I might need to drop the chins out for a bit. You know, and I hate that because these are like my big five right now. And I love the chin up, and I think it's such a fantastic exercise. But with that old injury, if it keeps aggravating my bicep, because I feel like it's even making it hurt more on my squats, because my right one doesn't have that problem on the squat at all. It's just my left one. So that's what I might have to do. I might have to just drop the chins for a while, even though, you know, I've set a goal on them, and I've done pretty good. I've gotten pretty close to that goal. Maybe I'll rotate it back in later. So I'm going to decide tomorrow. I'm not 100% on it. I'm going to think about it, but I might need to drop the chins for rows for a bit. And the rows will be a little bit of volume, be the one lift I'm not doing singles on. And like I said, if I need the extra bicep work, I'll throw those cheat curls back in that I was doing that I've done on camera before for you guys. All right, guys, but that's the end of the workout. So I hope it's been informative. and I will talk to you guys next time.